A Southern gentleman and ex-Piston Cup champion, DC knows what it takes to win. He's in the booth with Bob Cutlass for every major cup event, calling the play-by-play and adding humor and personality to the commentary. But when the flag drops, he's all business. That is until he shouts his signature, "Budgety, budgety, budgety. Let's go racing, boys."
Bob Cutlass is a world-renowned sports announcer. He's covered every sporting event from tractor pulls to monster truck rallies, including the last 3 Olympic Games. But he's most famous for teaming up with former Piston Cup racer Darrell Cartwright to announce Piston Cup racing on the Racing Sports Network. Bob Cutlass is the voice of reason to Darrell's enthusiastic color commentary. Bob is also the host of Sunday night's TV staple America's Funniest Sports Utility Vehicles.
The smoky-voiced Corey Turbowitz started her career off as a voicemail operator, but her delivery of "You have 3 new messages" was spoken with such flair and irreverence that the next thing she knew, she was the #1 radio host in the Bay Area, and one of the top Piston Cup reporters on television.
Chuck Manifold started off in the news world as Barry Pipenloo. But when he started covering the race scene, he knew he needed a name better suited for the tough nature of the racing world. As soon as he started reporting as Chuck Manifold, his career took off faster than a drag racer at a green light.
Skip Richter has been reporting about the race scene for years. After doing volunteer college radio broadcasts of race day action, he got an internship at a local television station. He soon made his mark with the launch of his weekly race recap entitled The Race Machine, which went on to reach syndication in 23 markets nationwide.
Integrity. That's the first rule of any decent member of the press, but Tim Rimmer is not a decent member of the press. He's a tabloid photographer for a local supermarket rag. But even Tim couldn't give Chick Hicks the gratification of getting his photo taken while he celebrated his stolen Piston Cup win.
Chucho Cables hails from the Midwest but somehow found himself in California covering the biggest race of the season. A live telecaster for 20 years with the Plainville Pavement Press, he recently made the jump to RSN, Racing Sports Network, and became one of the hottest not-so-minivan cams on the news team.
Boone was the first photographer to coin the now famous phrase, "Show us the bolt." He called it out last season at a press event to Lightning McQueen, who actually turned right towards him and flashed his $1 million grill. It was indeed a proud moment for Mr. Boone. If he'd had the forethought to trademark the phrase, he could have retired 20 years early.
During the week Ron Hover is a news copter for CRSN Cable Racing Sports Network, but when he's not covering a big race he's covering a big fire with thousands of gallons of water. Ron is a volunteer firefighter in Sonoma County, a thrill-seeker by nature. Ron loves the excitement of his work and enjoys helping out his community.
Dan's Clarkenburg knows news. And knowing news like Dan knows news allows him to cruise for new news that might not be known. Naturally, knowing news as soon as Dan knows news puts him in the know, and since he knew it when it was new and is thus able to report it in the now, then yes, Dan knows news.
Someday, when Bert finds a gallery that understands his abstract motion blur photography, he'll be recognized as the true artist he really is. In the meantime though, it's his job as paparazzo that pays the bills. And yes, paparazzo is the singular use for paparazzi, and yes, it means oversized mosquito in Italian.
Cora Copper Goldigger is one of those press hounds you never want to tangle with, especially if you've got something to hide. A tireless, some say ruthless investigator, she's uncovered dirt on the cleanest circuit races, anything that will sell copies of her paper, Auto Van Empire.
Brent Mustang Burger is an American sports broadcasting icon. With the self-proclaimed best stall in the garage, the excitable 1964 half-Ford Mustang was widely considered one of the most recognizable voices in the history of automobile sports television and associated with some of the most memorable moments in modern sports. At the World Grand Prix, Brent will be calling the turn-by-turn action with informed analysis and unparalleled zeal. as a handsome forest green 1963 Jaguar Comes lightweight E-Type. David Hibscap, originally from Royal Leamington Spa, England, is a worldwide racing luminary. His 30-year career in professional racing spans the globe and all types of motorsports. Now David shares that priceless knowledge as an announcer, where he's also well known for providing comic relief during race broadcasts. A former champion with 20 starts at 24 Hours of Le Mans, his storytelling comes from personal experience. Anything but your ordinary television sportscaster, David can't wait to enlighten and entertain the World Grand Prix audiences.